All right, so I would like to continue our series we have going on Pro Presenter. I know it's been a while. Life got a little busy for me. I had another baby, our first son. We had the holidays and everything, so I took a little break from making these, but it's time to get back into it. And where we left off with Pro Presenter was, if I was just starting out today, how would I get to where I could have a church service this upcoming Sunday? So we went ahead and put that together. If you remember correctly, I have this demo folder I made. That's our set list for our Sunday. We have, a song, worship, our announcements, pre-service, sermon. Maybe I didn't make these last time, but I made them just to show you how I would do this. So if you're getting started, I would add a new header and put it up here and name it something like that, announcements, whatever. What I want to show you today is how I have announcements going on to my front screen with a countdown, and how I do that all from Pro Presenter. I make them in Canva, but I put them on the screen with Pro Presenter, and then I have a whole separate video going on over here for our stream. What it is a video I made on on Canva, and then I upload it as a prop. And I'm gonna show you how we can get into that. We have to get into the looks again like we did last time. We're gonna make another macro for it, but once we're done, it's super easy to launch every single Sunday, and I think that everybody should implement this. So I made these graphics. Let me show you on Pro Presenter. Oh, wrong screen, sorry. There it is. I made these graphics for our church specifically, and I made them on Canva. Make them in a presentation folder on Canva, press download, and it will download everything you made in a folder. Then you can just upload it. All you have to do is drag and drop them. And then if you want them to play through on a Sunday, come up here, press this arrow. You can do 5, or you can do custom settings. You can have it play as fast as you want, but that's how many seconds between each one. So when I press the first one, yeah, there it is. 5 seconds later, it goes to the next one. That's how our announcements will play through. So our next thing we got to do though is I like to add a countdown. So what I'm going to do is press on this. We're going to go to edit. You can add a text box up here, pressing this T, and then when you do that, it's just going to load in a new text box, which you can edit them over here. So I named our service countdown. One important thing to do is you have to make a countdown first. Forgot to share that. So here's our service countdown. It counts down to time. So I just had it counting down to 4:30 p.m. That makes us playing a half hour before our service. All you have to do is press plus and make it count down to time. You can just make it timer. You can do whatever you want. We use a timer sometimes, but not often. So add a text box. What we're going to do is go to our text, link it. So check mark where it's linked, and then timers, and whatever timer you created, do that. These are stock, Pro Presenter. I didn't make those ones. And then you can get rid of, milliseconds and hours. Unless if you really want it to show hours, you can. For most people that sees it, it's just going to be a 0. Put it wherever you want it. Give it whatever font you want. I gave it this crazy font because I can. But then you got to take this. We're going to Command C, Command Copy, or whatever it is on PC, I'm not sure. Go to the next one. And then what you do is Command V. Except it's not working. Command C. Command V. There it is. See, it worked that time. But I'd already had it. Just do that on all your announcements. Then when you go to play it, there will be a timer. There it is right there. You can see it up in the corner. So that's how I would set up announcements. What I'm going to do though, this green button here, it might not look green for you yet. You want to press announcements real quick, and I'm going to get into it and show you why you want to do that. It's a whole thing about layering. Let's go up to our looks. We open this. We're going to go ahead and create another look. I'm going to call it pre-service. So you can see all the layers over here to the right. Messages are at the top. So whatever is at the bottom is considered the bottom layer. It can be covered by the other layers. So messages first, then props, and then announcements. So what's important is on our worship and our sermon, announcements are not checked because I have them checked right here, and we don't want that. So when I make this live, you'll see it go away. Our front screen no longer has the announcements. But pre-service, let's make that live. It has it all. So I'm going to leave props. I'm going to get rid of props on screen 1 and screen 2. I'm also just going to go ahead and get rid of all the other stuff, slide media, video input. I just want announcements. And this is going to be our stream window. What's going to our stream? You can leave announcements. It'll be covered by the prop. But we want video input and we want our prop. But the important thing is, though, the announcements can't play over your prop. The prop is going to be the layer that covers that. I'll make it make sense here in a minute. So let's go to our first song. Let's make sure there's no macros on it. Last time we were here, I believe we made a worship. We made the worship macro and put a look on it. So let's go ahead and, for the purpose of this, let's get rid of that worship look and let's get rid of that macro for just a minute. And I will very soon show you why it's important that we have those dragged onto the first song. So I'm going to create a new one. Let's call it pre-service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add our pre-service look to it. So every time we press that, it is our pre-service. It's going to launch that. And then here's the important part about why we put our worship macro onto the first slide. Because look, I'm pressing these. So this would just be media here. Oh, except right now it's actually working. Oh, it's because the worship looks is on this as well. Let's get rid of this real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta remove it. So if I have it on pre-service and press the announcements, which I'll just layer pre-service onto it. When we try to go play our song, it's covered up. So we need to fix that. One thing I did last week and I showed you guys, just select the first slide, go to the last slide, hold shift and press it. When you right click, you can add the audience look to it, worship. A lot of these already have it, except the first two, so I'm gonna add it here. That's why it was grayed out for me. See, now it's not. So that means when you go to press the first song, it turns your slides and your media back on. I'm also just gonna go ahead and put this on it. So the thing is, you have your announcements running in the background. So one thing you can do is go to your macro here and add an action. Go to clear announcements. When you press that, and this just helps your computer CPU not run stuff in the background. Everything runs smoother that way. I encourage that myself. So when we do that, you can see that the announcements were just turned off. That's important. So that's how I would get announcements ready for service this Sunday. So let's go ahead and do something a little different. If you're somebody that's running your stream through ProPresenter, which I think is great, it works good for us. We had a sound issue for a while. We just fixed it. It was the simplest thing that was affecting us for like a year. And we feel pretty dumb about it now because it was so easy to fix. But we just fixed it. So let's make a video that's only going to run to our stream. If there's like announcements that you might not need everybody on stream to see the announcements for the people in church because you know they're not going to make certain events, they're not going to do something. Maybe you want a designated online audience video. I made the video on Canva, and then when we go to the right over here, you can see our props. That is prop 1. This is our Christmas season video we had. I just changed things up a little bit in our actual service, but that works. Remember, on this macro we have for pre-service, our props are going to the stream. So I'm going to switch this to show the stream, which looks like it's already showing the prop. So let's clear everything real quick. I'm going to add an action here. Our action will trigger. That's not what I wanted to do. So when we press this, it will trigger our prop. My bad, I messed up the first one. So let's press it. Click the first slide, and as you can see, a whole different video is going on over to the right. It's just certain church events that are coming up. You know, it's not every Connect group, everything like that. Just something that's generic and simple and with less stuff going on, so that when people are just checking in, they're probably not going to sit there for however many minutes and watch our intro. And then one thing you can do is, if you press more up here, the same way we put a timer on the other stuff, you can put a timer right on here. Looks like there was already text, so let's get rid of that. And we're going to link it to service countdown. This has been giving me some trouble lately. It doesn't always work the way I'd like it to work. I like CMG Sans. I got it from Church Motion Graphics. You probably heard me talk about them before. Just do this, and then, I mean, if you want to get crazy with it, you know, you can add a stroke or something like that. Visibility. I'm going to make it visible when the timer service countdown has time remaining. So, except, you know, you won't be able to see it all the time. So clear this, and then, well, it was working for a second and it stopped. I don't know why, but it's been giving me that trouble. There must be a bug right now with ProPresenter. But everything else is working good. So if you want to add announcements to your service using ProPresenter, this is how I would do it to have it ready for this Sunday.